I always thought learning English was about studying more. More grammar, more vocabulary, more listening tests. But the more I studied, the more stuck I felt. When I wanted to speak, my mind would go blank. Because I never saw English in real life. That's when I realized something powerful. The best way to learn is not to study harder but to experience the language. To hear it in stories. To see how it lives in simple moments. That's how native speakers grow up with it. They don't memorize rules, they just live them. So if you've been frustrated or tired with the way you're learning English, let's try something different today. Let's feel the language in a real story. I had just moved to a new city. Everything felt huge, fast, and unfamiliar. The buildings, the people, the signs in the station, all of it felt like a giant maze. One morning I had to go across town for my first day at a new job. And the easiest way was by metro. I had never taken the subway before. Just hearing the words underground and train made me nervous. But I had no choice. So I packed my bag, double-checked the address, and headed down the stairs into the station. There were so many machines, people, lines, signs, it was overwhelming. I stared at the ticket screen, trying to understand the colors and numbers. A kind stranger noticed and pointed to the right option. I nodded and thanked them with a small smile. Got my ticket and walked through the gate. The sound of the doors closing, the beep of the card reader, the rush of air as trains passed by. It all felt new. I waited on the platform, looking around, trying not to look confused. The train arrived. People got off, people got on. I stepped in. It was quiet but full. The train started moving and I held on to the pole. The map above the door showed the next stations. I kept checking my phone to make sure I wasn't missing my stop. One by one the stations passed. Some people read books. Some just stared ahead. I stood there, still a little tense but proud. I was doing it. When my stop arrived, I almost forgot to press the button. But I made it. I stepped off the train and climbed the stairs into daylight. That ride lasted maybe 15 minutes. But to me it was a big moment. It was the first time I trusted myself in this new place. It showed me that things feel scary until you do them. And after you do them, they become part of your story. Just like this one. Now let's look at some useful English phrases from that story and how you can use them. Move to a new city, very common phrase when talking about changing where you live. Everything felt unfamiliar, great way to express when things look or feel strange or new. Double-check the address, a useful phrase when you want to show you confirmed something. It was overwhelming, strong expression to describe when too much is happening and it's hard to think. Stepped in and held on to the pole, natural way to describe getting on public transport. Stations passed one by one, a simple description of time moving as you travel. I almost forgot to press the button, a very real moment that adds detail and shows action. It became part of my story, a reflective phrase you can use to describe any meaningful experience. When you learn phrases in a moment that feels real, your brain remembers them not as words but as experiences. And that's how fluency starts, by living the language, not just memorizing it. We upload a story like this every single day. If you want to keep improving your English in a way that actually works, stick around. Subscribe, come back tomorrow and let's learn together. Have you ever taken the metro for the first time? Tell us in the comments, where were you, what did it feel like? We'd love to hear your story. See you in the next one.